But I want to talk about a country that has been through hell and back, Sri Lanka, and the Prime Minister there, Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is now the interim president. He's been sworn in as the interim head of the island nation. Speculation is looming large over who will be the next Sri Lankan Prime Minister. The Parliament Speaker has said that the nominations for the presidential post will be called on the 19th of July and that elections for the next president will happen on the 20th. The main contenders are Ranil Wickremesinghe, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa. However, after taking over as the interim president, Ranil Wickremesinghe has issued two decisions. Number one, he has said that he is prohibiting the use of the term excellency to introduce the president, and he's also appointed top army officials in order to maintain law and order across the country. Meanwhile, the Sri Lankan Parliament will convene tomorrow to elect a consensus candidate to be the next Prime Minister. I want to go across to somebody who could likely become the next consensus candidate to be Prime Minister of the Sri Lankan Parliament. Sajith Premadasa is the leader of the SJP, the Opposition Alliance. Thank you very much, Mr. Premadasa, for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. One thing is official, that Gotabaya Rajapaksa has resigned. He is no longer the president of Sri Lanka. What is expected to happen next? Ranil Wickremesinghe has been sworn in as interim president. There's likely to be a president and a prime minister for the next 30 days. Are you one of the leading contenders, sir, to be the next prime minister of Sri Lanka?
Well, one has to understand the provisions of Sri Lanka's constitution, which prescribes that the process which will commence tomorrow after a special sitting of Parliament, that is for the selection of the president, which will happen next Wednesday after nominations are taken on Tuesday. So it's only after the president is appointed will we have the position of a formal prime minister and a government. Right now you have an acting president who is mandated with appointing an acting prime minister who should be a member of the present cabinet.
But Mr. Premadasa, why do you believe that you have the requisite support of members of parliament to be the next president of Sri Lanka? After all, you represent an opposition alliance, and in the current parliament in Sri Lanka, the SLPP, which is the ruling party of the Rajapaksas, has more than a two-thirds majority. So why do you believe that you have the support and that you will be elected as the next prime minister?
The next president of Sri Lanka will be chosen from the 225 members of parliament who were chosen in August 2020 under the leadership of the president who just fled the country. The president was elected in November 2019. He got 6.9 million votes. His party got 6.8 million votes in the ensuing general election in 2020. So the present composition of parliament is what you may call a Rajapaksa ideology dominated parliament.
Okay.
That's the composition of the present parliament. We, the opposition, are a small part of that in terms of composition. But still, we are the legitimate alternative government, and we are following constitutional procedures, which is the only methodology of expressing our ideas, our views, and our forward path for the country.
Okay, but
in
Mr.
reality, what should happen
I want to ask you one thing. How soon do you see this happening? Because some are saying that it cannot happen before February of 2023. And what is the confidence that you have that even after the elections that are going to take place, that your party or your alliance, the SJP, would emerge as the front runner as and when those elections happen?
Our party is SJB, and we have an alliance, SJB alliance. This is the main opposition party, and right now what you have is a skewed representation. Parliamentary representation is lopsided. It does not reflect the aspirations of the people of the country. Because today, the Rajapaksa ideology is a failed ideology.
Okay.
We have a failed, bankrupt state and country because of the Rajapaksa ideology. So the majority that was attained in 2020 will be deciding on the future presidency.
All right.
That's
Mr.
the course of action
Sajith
that's going to take
Premadasa,
place.
likely the next Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. Thank you very much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Thank you for your time.